Hello from the Iowa Capitol. We are closing the books on the 2019 legislative session, and I want to take a brief moment to talk about all of the successes that we had as an organization, which is due in large part to the advocacy and the engagement of you, the members. Without your continued advocacy and engagement, these successes would not have happened. So thank you for all of that work that you did to help make this year a great year for public education in the legislative session. First, let me talk about the winners. Number one, SAVE. That has to be the biggest win. We've extended that through the end of 2050. And while there were some deals cut that folks, that IASB agrees we did not particularly care for, the fact of the matter is you have that continuity of a funding stream. Number two, SSA was set early. Having that decision made early, even if it was not enough to help you deal with the ongoing budget needs in your school district, allowed you the time to plan. Coupling that with an additional investment in our transportation and district cost per pupil equity gave us a solid $90 million of new investment in public education. That's a definite win. We were successful in extending the reorganization and whole grade sharing incentives for another 5 years, and we were giving more flexibility to districts in a number of areas, including with concurrent enrollment, particularly for our smaller districts, with what kind of vehicles can be used to transport our students, and flexibility in teacher licensure to help our districts hire teachers for hard to fill positions. Finally, there was no new expansion of guns on school grounds. That has been a continued heated debate, and there were no new mandates imposed on K-12 education. In the category that I call mixed bag, we have things that are both good and bad. For instance, we were successful. There were no votes on vouchers, and vouchers did not become a law. However, the legislature did increase the amount of funding from $13 to $15 million for the school tuition tax credits. Number two, while we were not able to pass our school-based telehealth bill, the AEAs were successful in securing $2.1 million to help districts deal with mental health needs at a local level. And finally, election dates. The election bill that went through does reduce the number of election dates, but we were successful in making sure that those districts that already have elections planned for June, a date that's being eliminated, were protected if they move forward and held those elections. Finally, on the losing end, and I always like it when the losing end is a short list. It is the shortest list of what I've been talking about. We were not successful in securing an increase in the ELL weighting. We were not successful, although we worked an awful lot on trying to find some additional funds for preschool programming. And finally, a bill that would have provided some local control and flexibility with respect to reporting requirements did not pass. But we'll be back working on those issues next year along with you. In conclusion, thank you again for the work that you've done to build relationships with legislators, to spend time coming to the Capitol, emailing, calling legislators, inviting them into your schools. I think the list of successes that we had as an organization this year demonstrate that those efforts are paying off, and I encourage you to keep building those relationships as we move on to the next legislative session, which is just 8 months away.